Hey, what is up you guys, and welcome to today's Moar episode. We've got a mishmash for you guys, and it's a special one for sure. It's entitled Parents featuring Choosing Beggars. Like this? I could definitely do that, but price will increase because of the gems and ombre, so it'll be only $45 for you. I only said $30 for the other set because it was a simple ombre. Your prices are ridiculous for simple work. Humble yourself. I would like to cancel my appointment. That's fine. Good luck trying to find a tech like me. I feel vindicated and irritated. Many years ago, I refused service to a person I had seen a few times. She's a mean, bitter person with horrible energy. She yelled at me and threw a tantrum in my spa when I stopped giving samples of products to new clients. She insisted on free samples to be given to her sister. I politely tried to explain that I no longer have samples available, but the products are 100% guaranteed. So if her sister didn't like them, she could just bring them back for a full refund. She yelled and screamed, followed up with some nasty phone calls and messages. Finally, when I didn't respond to any of her bullish, she wrote a long, nasty Yelp review. It was on my Yelp page for years. It has recently been removed by her, and she has been begging me to take her back. I have politely refused, but she has been incessant. Text after text asking me to reconsider. Some people's energy is just not worth dealing with. Sorry, little missy, you burned that bridge for good. Why can't I take your bed and you sleep on the couch? A few years ago, a workplace acquaintance called me around midnight sobbing that her parents had kicked her out because they didn't like her boyfriend and she needed some place to stay for a few days while she sorted it out. I, being a young and naive fool, offered up my place, a one-bed, one-bath apartment that she had been to before. She arrived about 2 hours later, her car filled to bursting with all of her belongings. I knew immediately I had made a mistake offering up my place and that she had no intention of staying just a day or two. But it being 2 a.m. and me being spineless, I decided to let her stay that night and then tell her she needed to find another place in the morning. I gave her the go-ahead to use my shower and did what I could to make the couch into a comfy bed. When she got out of the shower, she saw that I had made a bed on the couch in the living room where my dog's crate is also set up. I don't like dogs. Can you put him outside? Well, I don't have a yard and it's 20 degrees outside, so no. But he'll be in the crate all night and won't bother you. Can't you just put him in your balcony? No, he can sleep in my room tonight though. I'll take too long to move his crate into your room. I'll just sleep in there and you can take the couch. Oh, he can just sleep on my bed with me, it's no big deal. Why can't I have your bed and you sleep on the couch? I would rather sleep in a bed. Yeah, I would too, so I'm going to sleep in my bed in my apartment. I don't want to sleep on the couch. Look, it's almost 3 in the morning. You can either sleep on the couch or find a hotel. Well, I want the bed tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. The next day at work, she referred to my apartment as our apartment, and I told her that she needed to find somewhere else to stay. Well, yeah, duh. She then, look at this one, she then proceeded to ask me for money to rent a hotel room. No, and told me she liked my shower products and I should give her the extras she saw I kept under my bathroom sink as a consolidation gift. No, again. She ended up moving back in with her parents, who apparently didn't actually kick her out but just told her that if she and her boyfriend lived at their house, then they needed to contribute to the bills. You know what? Babysitting isn't that hard. I'll pay you $100 for 20 hours of work. So before I joined the military, I was actively involved in the babysitting community around my small town, especially in the summer. Families liked me being around their children because I was experienced with children with special needs. I had training in pet and infant CPR, and I would take the children out to a nearby park and get them special treats for them if time allowed. Most of the parents I babysat for were kind and very generous with tipping and grateful for someone to look after their children while they went to the casino, which is a major adult hangout place in my town, or out to eat on a nice date. I didn't have any trouble with the kids or following a schedule to get them into bed before their parents got home. and that's how I kept getting booked week after week after week in the summertime. For long-time customers, I would charge less than what I usually charge, which was around $9 to $12 an hour, depending on how many kids there were, whether or not I would have to cook them dinner or how long the parents would be gone for. The parents didn't complain about the rate because they knew I bathed their children, cleaned up after dinner, tucked in their children, and made sure that the kids had a very good time while their parents were away. Well, this one lady, let's call her CB, messaged me on Facebook asking if I was free for next Saturday and Sunday to watch her 3 children. Hey, somebody mentioned to me that you were a babysitter with good rates. She said that you do a great job with her children, and I wanted to ask if you would be free next Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on both days, and how much would it cost? I have 3 darling children that would just love to meet you. Sure, I've been babysitting for her for about 9 months now. I have experience with special needs children, infants, and pets. I'm also CPR trained in all those 3 areas. My rates depend on how many children you have, any extra services that I need to provide, such as cooking, cleaning, and bathing your children, and how long you would like to be away from home. My prices generally start at $10 an hour. What? That's ridiculously too high. I can find a cheaper babysitter around here for half that price. This is blatant robbery. I'm sorry you feel that way, ma'am, but I can assure you that most babysitters in this area do not have training in order to take care of a child in case of an emergency. I'm telling her that you are a huge ripoff and that no one should come to your services anymore. You're a thief. Like I said, ma'am, I'm very sorry that you find these rates unfair, but considering what I do with your child and the amount of time you're away more than makes up for it. I bathe them, dress them, cook, clean for them. I usually take them to the park and play until it's dinner time, and then I tuck them into bed on time. Look, I really need a babysitter for next week. Can't you just lower your price, please? It'd mean a lot to me. You see, my youngest has cancer, and I'm going to buy him some exotic fruit that he's wanted to try for so long. Sends me a picture of a child with cancer. She just screenshot a Google page with the lookup term in the box, child with cancer. I need a moment after that. I'm very sorry to hear that your youngest has cancer, but I still can't lower my prices. If anything, I have to raise them because of your child's condition. I would have to take extra good care of him due to his cancer, and I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to other children while I was looking after your youngest. Can't you do it out of the kindness of your heart? The only time I lower my prices depends on the situation. I would charge you more for having 3 kids than I would charge you for 1 kid because of how many kids I will need to take care of. I would charge more for a singular kid whose parents would be gone for 10 hours than 3 children for 3 hours because of the amount of time I'll be using to take care of your children. The only time I lower my prices is for family or dedicated customers, like the person who gave you my contacts, who I've been working with for over 9 months. Well, I should get the special discount too, since she recommended me to you. I could lower the price down by $2 if that could help you at all. I'll pay you $100 for both days combined. Ma'am, that's only $4.16 an hour. $100 for 24 hours of work? I'm sorry, I can't do that. That's below minimum wage, and I'm sought on this community due to my skills with children. Babysitting isn't even that hard to do. You just sit and watch them, that's all. That's not what I do for the children while I'm babysitting. I usually take the children out to go get ice cream or to the park, which is out-of-pocket expense for me. I don't mind doing it, but I raise my rates so that the children and I can actually go and do fun things instead of laying around the house all day, so that when their parents get back home, the children are already exhausted and put into bed. You're still a scammer. $100, take it or leave it. I'll leave it. Thanks. Thanks a lot, A-Hat. You effing sexist fish. No one will ever want you to babysit their children after I'm done with you. She then began blowing up my Facebook page, saying how awful of a babysitter I was, how I was not accepting a job because one of her little darlings had cancer and I was being selfish, how I mistreated children by beating them and abusing them, and she had a lot of racial slurs against me. My longtime customers saw this and took action swiftly. They flooded her inbox and Facebook page with shameful posts and called her out on every social media platform she was on. She eventually deleted her Facebook page and all other social media, and I haven't heard from her since. My child needs this space. I live in Australia. Any holidays or trips usually entail long-haul flights and extreme discomfort, so I'm a person who plans. I always get a window seat so I can curl up and sleep, and I always have my Sennheiser headphones for my music so I can drown out the crowd, and I bring a pillow to make things a bit cozy. On this particular trip, I was heading to Norway. The year was 2006. I boarded my flight in Sydney for the leg to Kuala Lumpur. Took my window seat and proceeded to get comfy. It was a late evening flight and I was hoping to sleep most of the way. Along comes entitled parent with entitled kid. Entitled kid would have been around 6 to 8 years old. His mom sat in the aisle seat and entitled kid sat next to me. By this time, I had my earphones on and was listening to some cool sounds. I don't generally like to converse with people, so this is my leave me alone strategy. Didn't work. Poked in the arm by entitled kid. What are you listening to? Music, and please don't poke me. Poked again. Can I listen? No, please don't poke me. Entitled mother. What is going on? Your child just poked me twice and I asked him not to do it again. He's just a child. Sometimes you just have to put up with things. He's your child. You can put up with it. I don't have to. Can you please tell your child to not annoy me? I just want to listen to my music in peace. At this point, what I was thinking would be bleeped out, but I remained calm, put my headphones back on, picked up a book, and lost myself in it, trying to ignore all the wriggling from the seat next to me. We had taken off, and we were about half an hour into the flight when I am once again poked. Yes. Mom said for you to put the armrest up. There is no room for me to lie down. My brain, what the F? My mouth, no, the armrest stays down. What is the matter? Why won't you put the armrest up? It will give entitled kid more room. You aren't fat or anything, so you don't need that whole seat. The armrest stays down. I have paid for the seat and I'm using the seat. Now please leave me alone, okay? I retreat once again to my book about another half an hour and I feel a little head falling against my left arm. The kid is falling asleep and resting against me. I remember so clearly that he was sweaty around his hairline and sweat was on my arm. I am not big on invasion of my space, as I am sure you are aware by now. I also hate others sweating on me. Ick. I gently push him off and tell his mother what has happened. I asked her to please have him rest against her and not me. You must hate children. I'm not particularly enamored, true, but I don't hate them. I just don't want your child invading my space. He is yours. Have him lean against you. He is just trying to get comfortable so he can sleep. So am I, and I can't do it when your child is sweating and leaning against my arm. Entitled parent then proceeded to go off. I distinctly remember being called a bish among other choice things. A flight attendant soon materialized. Entitled parent went off loudly about how I was making the flight horrible for her child, I was invading their space, I was annoying her child, etc. The flight attendant then asked for my side of the story. I explained calmly and quietly all that had happened, with the entitled parent interjecting at frequent intervals. The attendant then told the entitled parent that I had the right to leave the armrest down and that her child should not invade my space. Entitled parent glared daggers at me. The attendant then left for a few minutes and upon her return asked me to gather my belongings and come with her. I was concerned and asked where was I going, as I had requested a window seat specifically and didn't want any other. She informed me that I was being upgraded to first class. I hastily pick up my possessions and with a cheery "have a nice flight" to entitled parent, I headed off. Got a fantastic 6 hour of luxurious sleep before landing in KL. Entitled parent says I can't ride the bus. Last winter, I learned a fun fact that children 13 years and above can ride a Greyhound all by their lonesome. I decided to pounce on this opportunity. I was 15 at the time and saved up all spring mowing lawns and working soul-crushing jobs for 3 rides on the bus and stuff I would need for 2 months at relatives' house. This is where our story begins. Entitled mother, entitled kid, me. So my plan was to spend June with my extremely wealthy Aunt Margaret, fake name, in Virginia. And then in July, my fun-loving Uncle Gerald, also fake name, on the outskirts of Flint, Michigan. We set our scene at the end of June, somewhere in Indiana, on a Greyhound bus. I had chosen my carry-on bag as my general travel bag, containing my laptop, a spare controller, a few handheld video game consoles, some games, my house keys, a book, my phone, my wallet, an extremely personal notebook that my therapist told me to use as a diary, and my medication. I was sitting near the middle of a mostly empty bus playing Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow, on my Venusaur-themed GPA SP. I'm a bit of a collector when it comes to the Game Boy Advance. Enter entitled mother and entitled kid. Entitled mother was in her mid-30s, blonde, and had the 80s will never die haircut. Entitled kid was a little boy, maybe 7 or 8, brown curly hair like mine, and a little annoying. Entitled mom had decided to move her and her kid across from me. Is that even allowed? Another hour or so goes by and the lights of either Indianapolis or Fort Wayne were in sight. I should recognize it, but I was really tired and really focused. When suddenly Entitled Kid decided to talk to me. Hey, can I play? No, it's a one-player game. Thanks for asking though. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm positive. This is when Entitled Mother decided to stick her fat nose into the whole thing, and ish really hits the fan. Is that Minecraft? Internally, no you dolt, and don't even have enough buttons for that. Externally, no ma'am, this is Castlevania. Do you have Minecraft? I do on my laptop, but that's right above me and I'm almost at the final boss. Can my son get it? No, it's my laptop and it's kind of pricey. He won't hurt it. Me at the end of my rope. I believe you ma'am, but I tried my electronics with kid gloves, plus I have medicine in there. Hold on to your butts because at this point an Entitled Mother backs down, at first at least. Skip forward about half an hour. The game was beaten. I was gonna switch out cards and play some Pokemon or something, but first I pocket my SP and head to the bathroom. When I get back, Entitled Mother is rummaging through my stuff. In her hand is my notebook. Now this notebook was one of those spiral spine college ruled notebooks, and it was open to a page where I had written some retrospectively mild romantic stuff about a boy I liked in my class. I later removed that page because I was still in the closet. I was petrified. I sprint to my seat and snatched it out of her hands. What the hell? That's my personal bag and my private notebook. No one sees it but me. Entitled Mother seemingly now realizes I was alone. Where are your parents? That way a few hundred miles. Now give me my bag back. You aren't allowed to ride without your parents. I actually can. I read the rules. I purchased my tickets. Now I am past the end of my rope. I ran out of rope so long ago, there is no hope of rescue. I turn my head a little bit to see the little ish. In my hand is my wallet. All my cash scattered on his lap. I quickly grab all the money back, whispering obscenities under my breath, face beet red from the thought of someone reading my romantic thoughts of pure anger at the audacity of this bish and her little son of a bish as well. Entitled Mother really loudly, "Why are you taking my son's money?" Entitled Kid feigning tears, "Give it back." This attracted the attention of a worker on the bus. I think it was a backup bus driver or something. She goes on this long rant about how I'm trying to steal from her precious baby and how I was a thief and should be kicked off the bus. This lady had the brass balls to say I should be kicked off the bus because I was a thief. I tried to defend myself from these allegations, but I was way past flustered and couldn't say anything coherent, and I was starting to go into an asthma attack. I reached into my bag and pulled out my inhaler. Luckily, one lady near us was also a night owl and recounted the whole event of the last few minutes while I caught my breath. Now, this surprised the driver, and he asked that if all of this stuff belonged to her and her son, one of them would know what medication was in a pill bottle in the bag. At this point, they gave up. I explained what it was, what it looked like, and what it does. Entitled mother then tries to still paint me as the bad guy for not playing with her son. She was told that she would be getting off at the next stop, to which she protested. After she got off an hour or so later, I don't know what happened to her, but I hope she was stranded in that small suburban town for a long time. Alrighty guys, that was it for today's edition of More Entitled Parents. Thank you guys so much for the support. If you enjoyed all of this, subscribe for daily videos, leave a thumbs up on this video, and I'll see you in the next video.